You live in a world that profits from your extremes. Your anger, your cravings, your endless scrolling, your rush to respond. A world that rewards indulgence and labels restraint as weakness. But the Stoic knows something deeper. That true strength is not in taking more, doing more, or being louder. It's in knowing when to stop, when to say no, when to be still. And that is the virtue we explore today. Temperance, the art of balance in a world built on excess. Welcome to Modern Stoic Mind. Let us begin. Temperance is often misunderstood. Some see it as denial, others as limitation. But to the Stoic, temperance is liberation. The quiet power that frees you from being ruled by impulse, desire, emotion, or reaction. It is not weakness to restrain yourself. It is mastery. In a world where most people are prisoners of more food, more validation, more reaction, more stimulation, the Stoic chooses less, with purpose, because he understands that more is not always better. Sometimes, more is the enemy of clarity. Temperance is the art of stopping at enough. It is the decision to control yourself before something else does. That includes anger, greed, pleasure, distraction, or ego. The temperate man eats without gluttony, speaks without haste, earns without greed, defends without rage, and loves without attachment. This doesn't make him cold, it makes him conscious. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, yet slept on a simple bed and wore plain robes. He wrote, "Let your desires be ruled by reason," not because he lacked access to luxury, but because he saw the trap within it. The man who cannot stop eating, spending, reacting, pleasing, is not free. He's enslaved to his urges. But the man who can pause, observe, and redirect, he is sovereign. He lives above the noise. Temperance, in Stoicism, is not about punishing the body, it's about protecting the soul. It teaches us to take only what we need, to walk the middle path, and to avoid being swept away by temporary pleasures or pains. It's about choosing your reaction, rather than being consumed by it. And this practice shows up everywhere. When someone insults you, temperance is the silence that keeps you from lashing out. When you succeed, it is the humility that keeps your feet on the ground. When desire calls, it is the awareness that reminds you, just because you can, doesn't mean you should. Temperance isn't about fear, it's about foresight. The temperate person sees the consequences before the craving. He weighs the long term against the short term. He values alignment over impulse. And in that stillness, he becomes untouchable. In a world of dopamine addiction and emotional reactivity, temperance is rebellion. While others chase stimulation, the Stoic cultivates space. He creates distance between feeling and action, and in that space, he gains control. Epictetus said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control." But I would add, freedom is also found in controlling what lies within, and that starts with temperance. The ability to govern your own appetite for food, attention, revenge, validation, even knowledge, because too much of anything, even good things, can become poison without balance. The modern mind is overstimulated and undercentered. We wake up to noise, scroll for hours, overthink, but the Stoic mind is trained to sit in silence, trained to resist the urge to comment, to chase, to defend, to escape. The Stoic mind is tempered like steel, heated, pressed, and cooled by experience and reflection. It is not fragile, it is forged, and temperance is the tempering. We often think freedom means doing whatever we want, but Stoicism flips that. True freedom is doing what is right, even when you don't want to. Especially then. To eat when you're not hungry is to feed anxiety. To speak when you're not clear is to multiply confusion. To act without purpose is to scatter your soul across empty pursuits. Temperance calls you back to center. To choose simplicity over chaos, principle over pleasure, purpose over impulse. It is a radical act to pause, to observe your cravings without becoming them, to hear criticism without retaliating, to feel joy without clinging to it, to meet success without turning arrogant. That is Stoic grace, and it only comes with practice. Temperance is not natural, indulgence is, but the man who disciplines his desires becomes more than human. He becomes stable, grounded. He is not easily triggered, because he has trained himself to live by choice, not reflex, and in that space, he becomes dangerous to systems that profit from your weakness. A temperate man cannot be manipulated by advertising, by peer pressure, by emotional blackmail. He has standards. He knows what is enough. And in that knowing, he becomes free. In a culture of never enough, temperance is the boldest answer. It is not about shrinking your life. It's about sharpening it. Not about saying no to everything, but knowing when to say no and having the strength to follow through. Every day is a chance to train this. When you want to lash out, pause. When you crave more, reflect. When the urge rises, breathe. Temperance lives in those small decisions. It is not made in grand gestures, but in daily restraint, in quiet strength, in inner order, and, when practiced long enough, it becomes identity. You no longer try to be balanced. You are balanced. You no longer react. You respond. You no longer consume blindly. You choose consciously. Temperance is what allows the Stoic to endure joy without addiction, pain without collapse, and power without corruption. It makes the highs manageable and the lows survivable. It gives the warrior patience, the leader humility, the thinker clarity, and the lover depth. And like all virtues, it is not something you talk about. It's something you live. So ask yourself, where am I out of balance? What desire has become a distraction? What habit needs a boundary? What part of me wants control but needs discipline? The answers are already within you, and so is the strength to follow them. But you must begin, because balance is not found. It is created, chosen, and earned, moment by moment, through temperance. Temperance is not a soft virtue. It is the spine that keeps the Stoic upright in a bent world. In our next video, we explore the foundation beneath all Stoic behavior, the 4 cardinal virtues. But until then, train your restraint, question your excess, and remember, peace is not in having more, it's in needing less.